I'm going to tell you a scary story about a house I used to babysit in. When I was 16, I had a paper route, and one of my customers was an elderly woman who lived alone. She had no family, and we didn't get many visitors. The house was big and old and filled with antiques that she'd collected over the years. It was also filled with spiders. I'm talking about the big hairy ones that you find in attics. One day I was dusting the shelves in the living room, and I found a book of poetry by Edgar Allan Poe. I read it to her, and then I started reading ghost stories. I remember the first time I read The Telltale Heart. I got to the part where the old man says, "Listen to that heart." And I heard a thump, thump, thump right outside the window. We both looked out and saw nothing. Then I heard it again, thump, thump, thump. I told her it was probably just a branch from the tree outside. But she insisted on getting her shotgun and checking it out. We went out into the yard, and there was a set of deer tracks in the soft earth. Then we heard it again, thump, thump, thump. This time we followed the sound to the back of the house, and there in the corner was a big hole. The wood was splintered, and there were leaves and dirt piled up around it. My customer said it looked like someone had tried to dig their way into the house. For weeks after that, we kept hearing the sound, thump, thump, thump. Sometimes it was during the day, and sometimes it was in the middle of the night. I would jump out of bed and run to her room, but we never heard it while we were awake. I started keeping a journal of all the strange occurrences that happened at the house. There was the time that I was dusting, and I felt something wet and slimy crawl across my hand. When I looked down, I saw a long, slimy worm squiggle away into the baseboard, or the time that I was reading a magazine, and I distinctly heard the old woman in the advertisement say, "Don't buy our brand of cereal because it's filled with worms." Then there was the time that I was watching television, and I heard my name being called. I ran to the bookshelf and flung open the book of poetry. The pages were filled with nothing but eyes that seemed to stare back at me. I know this sounds crazy, but I was never the same after staying in that house. I still have the journal and the book of poetry. I don't know what that house did to me, but I will never forget it.